Let's look into what happens to the mayor when he is out on the streets and he's asked about his transport policies. Here's a headline that came into the Express last week, and I'll read it out loud for you. I still can't believe this happened. It says, "Coward. Sadiq Khan mocked by London rival after hiding from protesters, lily-livered." And yes, I have to put my hands up and said, yes, that was me. That was me, Brian Rose, the next mayor of London. I was calling the mayor out because of what happened when the mayor went out for one of his many photo opportunities. And the way you can always tell if it's a photo opportunity is when you look at the face of who the mayor is meeting, they've got that funny look on their face as if they don't really want to be there. Now, luckily, because of COVID, he gets to cover up their faces with masks, but you can tell whether it's a police or a nurse or someone who's got one of the very few homes that he's built for affordable homes, or one of the businesses that he might have supported or might not. None of them want to be there for his photo ops. And 2 weeks ago, the mayor went out for a photo op, and about 5 citizens from Enfield came to ask him about the LTNs in their neighborhood and why they're paying these ridiculous fines to drive and in their own borough. And the mayor decided, as opposed to listen to the voters, he decided to hide inside of a coffee shop for an hour until his security got there. And then he ran with his security and would not listen, engage, or answer the questions, some reasonable questions from some of the voters of London. Here's a video. You probably watched it, but this is what the mayor does when he's asked simple questions by voters in London.
A minute. Sadiq, will you talk to us a minute? This LTN is very socially regressive and it's killing people with the air pollution. Sadiq, why won't you talk to us? Sadiq, please talk to us. We're just a few residents. Sadiq, please talk to us. Sadiq, can we not talk while we walk? Sadiq, please talk to us. Sadiq, this LTN is causing so much bad air around the area. It's socially regressive. You're forcing people onto North Circular where you're building 20-story towers housing some of the most vulnerable people in the borough. Sadiq, can you listen? Please listen. Sadiq, can we get any engagement? Sadiq, can you talk to us? You're our mayor, we want to be listened to, Sadiq. Sadiq, please listen to us.
It's supposed to be a democracy.
Sadiq, I would have expected a hybrid at least. Okay, that's it, is it? So he's not. So this is the mayor of London. He's just done a photo op. He hasn't engaged with us at all. Few residents wanting to express some problems in the area, and he's just driven off, and no engagement. Okay, thank you.
What do you think of that?
Well, it's just very disappointing. You know, we live in a democracy, and this is really not good enough. He's come here for our vote, I would have thought, and there's no engagement with us at all. It was just a photo opportunity, and that was it.
You?
Yeah.
You would have thought.
It was just a photo opportunity.
Nothing.
Sadly. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Every time I watch this video, I find it shocking to watch that the current mayor of one of the biggest cities in the world would not stand and listen and engage with the very people he's looking for their vote for in a matter of weeks' time. The fact that he would run down the streets and not for once try to engage with them after hiding out in a coffee shop for an hour so he wouldn't even have to talk to him, it boggles my mind. And I thought these people were quite reasonable, reasonable questions. They weren't trying to get aggressive, and he couldn't even simply give them an answer. And now you've all heard the rumors, and we've actually confirmed this is true, that over at Labour headquarters, the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has now been told he is not allowed to go out in public until May 6th because it would, quote, risk jeopardizing the elections, unquote. So you've got a mayor who can't even go out on the street or he'll be heckled, chased, and followed, versus someone like me who's getting in the back of a digital battle bus and I'm trying to talk to as many citizens as possible. And just to show you a contrast, this is me out on the streets of Ealing just a few weeks ago. I was out there doing a food drop at St. John's, some great people out there, And I was trying to get back on my bus, and this gentleman, Adam, shouted out across from me and voiced his concerns about the LTN. I'm not even mayor of London yet, and yet I thought he deserved the respect for me to listen to the issues that he had. This is something the current mayor of London would never do, but this is a real person expressing frustrations with the LTNs. It's all directed at the mayor, and here is Adam from Ealing. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
I'm almost trying to hold my temper.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm so angry. I'm so absolutely angry.
Okay.
What's going on in this country? I have to drive.
Yeah,
30 minutes.
I hear
35 minutes up this road, burning my fuel to get round into an access that I had, which was less than 2 minutes off the drive. There's local businesses inside that LTN that cannot operate. They're shutting down. There's a car mechanics, there's no getting past the trade. Pharmacy, which serviced the local area that I could walk to, shutting. So I have to walk, right? Then what do you do to raise money? Okay, so what they do is they stick these barriers in.
Yes,
okay.
I just did a video about this.
So once they've stuck the barriers in, right, how can we raise some money? But what we'll do then is, what they do with everything else, right, is take the barriers down. I say keep the bloody barriers if you're going to keep the scheme. Okay, put massive signs up saying if you go through here, there's a fine. But the other one, they'll stick a tiny little sign and it will say, go past this point.
They're encouraging people
and they'll stick a camera up there. Okay, and that camera then, if anybody makes a mistake, it's 200 quid. It's a fantastic scheme, isn't it?
Trying to make money off the citizens.
And they're denying me access to my property, and they're making me take half-an-hour trips to go and do things. It's all very well saying people take a bus. I've got 2 kids, okay? I've got a mother who lives down the road, who's now on her own because my father passed away, and I've got to go and see her, and I've got to do deliveries for her, okay? I haven't got a choice. I've got to move things about, okay? I've got 2 kids that live down the road, and a split family. I have to shuffle between the two that are too young to get on buses. Okay? And each time I collect them, I've got a half-an-hour trip to do that out of my contact, which is 4 hours.
Everybody said the same thing this morning.
Absolutely.
Everyone's done
fuming.
that.
And I'll place this because I don't think it's Ealing. Okay. The London Borough, the main mayor, right, and the government funded that scheme.
Yes.
They paid the money to Ealing Council to implement it.
They did.
Right. Exactly the same with the wheelie bins. They paid the money
they did.
for them to implement it. This isn't the local council thing. It's
they did.
government and it's mayoral.
You're right.
That's where it sits. Those fundings comes out to these places to put these schemes in place, and we don't bloody
Absolutely correct.
And you're correct.
right. And I'm telling you now, there is many people that feel the same as me.
Good.
We've got a doctor and a nurse in there, okay, who have to do a travel all the way around. We had an ambulance whilst this scheme was up, and a man had a heart attack inside. It was all over the news, okay, and they couldn't reach him in time because the ambulance didn't have the key in time. And there were so many of them to get through. By the time they got through, it was 20 minutes late. And I had to go to the hospital. The anger that sits here is really, really intense. It's not good.
We appreciate you so much.
What was your name?
Adam.
Thank you.
Adam, I'm Brian.
Yes.
I appreciate that. And when
All
we
right.
came down to give some food to St. John's, and everybody I talked to all the way down here has expressed your frustrations. They've all
Everyone.
said this is unacceptable. From you to her to the grocer
If they
to
want,
Nola,
if they want a
everybody.
scheme, put us on the databases. Let the people that live in the houses through, and then stop anybody that isn't paying the local CPZ fee. Because we're all registered. Yeah. If I'm paying my car parking space to get into my zone, put my number on the camera for admitted through. Simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
We wholesheartedly agree.
Adam, thank you very much.
It must be very frustrating.
No, I can tell you should be frustrated.
You should be
Really,
frustrated.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
You should be frustrated.
Yeah.